Government has defended a new law which will prevent workers from taking their pension and provident fund contributions as a full cash lump sum when they retire. President Jacob Zuma signed the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill into law last week. Currently, workers have the option to take out the cash and use it as they wish, but that changes in March. Government says the previous situation was problematic because many workers are highly indebted and they spend the money quickly. They then have to rely on the state to fund their age-old pension and to survive. The move has angered Cosatu, though, and has left many people confused. To discuss, we're now joined by Mduduzi Luthuli from Inkunzi Investments. Great to have you with us, Mduduzi.
Thank you.
So you're getting a lot of queries from people who don't understand exactly what's happening. Explain the main changes or what's causing the confusion right now.
Okay, so the tax laws that President Zuma has now signed into effect aims to do two major things. The first, it's trying to align how contributions to pension, provident funds and retirement annuities are looked at. As an example, at the moment, if you are in a retirement annuity, your tax contribution, the tax rebate you get from that is capped at 15%. If it's a provident fund, it's capped at 20%. If it's a pension fund, it's 27.5%. So the first thing that the tax reform laws are trying to do is just have uniformity across all three of those platforms.
Okay, so you're not penalized if you choose one over the other?
In fact, you're not penalized because they chose the highest cap, which is on the pension fund. So really,
So we're all penalized?
Yeah, no, in terms of that is the tax rebate that you'll get to the percentage, so it's the highest percent. And people who are currently on provident funds will actually, when they look at their pay slip after March, will find for some people their net salary has gone up because of that tax benefit. Where previously, only employer contributions to provident funds were tax deductible and not member ones. The second thing the law aims to do is that at retirement, currently if you're in a retirement annuity or a pension fund, you're limited to 1/3 as a cash lump sum, and the other 2/3 you have to purchase either a life or living annuity. Whereas in a provident fund, you are allowed to take the full lump sum as cash. And now, as you said in your intro, the facts are there, the data is there. Most people that take that option to take 100%, within the first 5 years of retirement, they've depleted their capital and they have to go back to a government who's already financially strained to say, please government, help me out. What the laws are now saying is that from 1st March 2016, any contributions you make to a provident fund will be treated as if you were contributing to a pension fund. The law isn't retrospective, so meaning if you're part of a provident fund at the moment, whatever contributions you make up until the 1st of March at retirement, you'll still get all those.
So in 20 years' time, they'll have to calculate before the law came into effect, you can take that out, but afterwards you can't.
Just like they do now if you have a divorce order. So if you're married in commutative property, they will say when was the divorce date and how we split the money. Exactly the same concept.
Okay, does this nullify any differences between a provident and pension fund? So we're all basically obliged now to invest in a pension fund that when you retire gives you a monthly sum rather than a cash lump sum.
That's correct. If your maturity value is 247,500 or less, you still will be allowed to access the whole amount as cash, and that's increased from 150,000. So the government is being nice there. And for the majority of low income earners, they will fall into this bracket. Okay. For the rest of us,
let me stop you there. Doesn't we're trying to help people not to spend all the money, and now we're giving a break to the low earners or people who won't have actually that much. Isn't that counterintuitive? It doesn't make sense to me.
I understand what you're saying, but it's one of two things. I mean, it's a very small amount, 247,000. I mean, typically saving for your retirement, it's over 30 or 40 years. You know, most of us will fall above that. And I think the main thing the government is trying to do is to say that if you have the opportunity to save towards your retirement, please do. And if you do that, they're trying to take away that burden on them to say, you have saved for your retirement for 30 or 40 years, you do have retirement savings, so spend it wisely and don't just deplete it extending your house or buying a new car.
What do you think of this change? To me, one problem is that you're basically forced to keep your money at home. Is that a problem when we have a weak rand? Some analysts saying invest overseas. You know, what if you have better investment options, but it will help you save? What do you think?
Yeah. Personally, I'm a fan of this change. I understand what the Treasury is trying to do. I feel they have been backed into a corner a bit because as South Africans we have a very bad record in terms of our savings. The South African tax pool is already small as it is, and the government just can't keep shouldering that burden. So especially for people, I think that's the main thing, especially for people who can save towards their retirement. They're trying to say, look, the facts say if we give you the full amount up front, you're going to come back to us and say, please help me again. So let's spread it out over 10, 20 years. I am a big fan of it.
All right, so that's good to know. Some people, Cosatu, not happy, but you're right, we don't save. And thank you for clarifying some of the issues for us. Mduduzi Latuli from Inkunzi Investments. Now, public hearings on the private healthcare system